let's march on. I can't wait to see what else this game has in store for us right now in franchise mode alone. This will be fun. This will be fun. Miserable maybe in some ways, but fun. And again, by the way, despite the fact that I'm on franchise mode, if people have questions about any other aspect of the game, feel free to ask away. I have no problem answering questions. Especially, too, for this first season. We're not totally locked in and focused on this team. We are just carrying the Bruins roster as it is. So low 9 equals negative value, apparently. When do I get the 10-hour trial? That, I don't know. I would think tomorrow, as in the Tuesday, given that that's when the pre-order thing is out. But to be honest, I haven't heard a damn thing about the 10-hour trial. So, Bagel. Good to see you, especially alumni. Ah, yes. The forbidden question. The forbidden question. Let's see. Let's get Baraban off. Onto the team for Patrick Brown. And then Megna and Clutterbuck in the minors. That's not too bad. We can deal with that. Lauco would have to go through waivers. So, what do I think about franchise mode? I mean, I love franchise mode. It's my home base, my bread and butter. It has been for a long, long time. I am seeing some concerning things in regards to what franchise mode looks like right now. Does +4 help? In theory, it should. I haven't seen enough of it to say whether or not it is properly helping like they were aiming for. Again, they use that to try and give AI coaches more options for how to build the team. So it's like, oh, well, Pasternak is a +5 on the 4th line, so I'm going to put him there. In sliders, can you turn the effectiveness of goalie fatigue or adjust how fatigued they get? I believe so. I can double check that really quickly to know for sure. I do know that the goalie's endurance rating now matters because of fatigue. What's concerning to you about franchise mode? Everything. Everything. Goodness. So yeah, within the whole goalie deal, doesn't look like there is a slider for it. So the biggest thing is going to be a goalie's endurance rating at this stage. How's the gameplay so far that I've played? Again, I've only gotten to play against computers. When we were in Vancouver, like Eki played a couple of people. Some people played club games. I was the nerd talking to the Madden guys for 3 hours. Or not the Madden guys. I saw someone say Madden franchise in chat, or just Madden in chat. I was the nerd talking to the franchise guys for pretty much the entire time that I was in Vancouver. So, taking advantage of those conversation opportunities. Kind of off topic, but when we make rosters, where do you have to put prospects that aren't in the NHL or the AHL? Do we still have to put them in Russia? Yes, yeah. So if it's an undrafted American, you can leave them on the free agent list or a Russian. But for the most part, you're pretty much going to have to put people in junior or in the European lineups. Can we play with EA Play in 2 minutes? I don't believe so, unfortunately. I think it is noon, not midnight. So, all right, franchise guys being. While there is a team, there are essentially 2 leads behind the franchise gameplay. That, I mean, I can name. The names aren't going to mean anything to you. I can name them, but this is the new NHL. This is 24. This is indeed 24. You can tell by the dark mode. So, all right, let's take a look. It is April 1st. And we are currently not in a playoff spot. That's not good. Well, let's see if we can make it. We'll sim from this menu here. Let's see if we can make it. Did they confirm a franchise overhaul revamp for next year? They have not. It is the hope that it'll be a bigger year for franchise mode. But you can't exactly guarantee it. Well, back-to-back shutouts. Shout out to your Boston Bruins. Going to be missing the playoffs in Season 1. Which is exactly what could happen in real life. Let's be honest. If anything, it might be. Ivory, what's up? And indeed. Hopefully McDavid bounces back this season. Again, we will check player stats at the end of this. He had quite a few injuries at the end of the year. Brad Marchand just kept getting hurt. If only it was on PC. I genuinely don't think you're going to get NHL on PC anytime soon. Honestly, If I was on, I mean, put it this way, I have a PC that can play NHL. I don't have my hopes up, is all I'll say. I would genuinely just let it go and then be pleasantly surprised if it happens in the future. Based on the knowledge I have, I wouldn't bank on it. Chilson, yeah, noon Eastern. It's a universal release. So it releases at that time for everyone. There's no New Zealand trick or anything like that. So, how can I already play 24? Again, I have an affiliation with my good friends at EA, so I have the game a little bit early. So, with that, we are out of the playoffs. You hate to see it. Shout out for the fall, by the way. You playing a game. Well, given we didn't make the playoffs, no. And given there's not enough people right now to play Ishul, not enough people to play Hut, probably not. There might be some gameplay, though. There might be. Why not? We'll see what happens at the start of next season. I'm not against playing a game or two, but it would have to be pretty much against the AI, unless I have some friends that are down to play versus games. Oh, I got the X Factor Edition and a game share. So they will have the game. They just won't have the like the Ultimate Team perks and stuff like that. But yeah, they would end up with the game. So the guys must be masochists to be friends with Tugi, considering how much he shits on them. Do I shit on them or do I give honest critiques? Let's be honest here. Be a pro outside of very, very minor tweaks is the same outside of, hey, the gameplay changed. So, let's take a look, though. Season 1 playoffs out of the Atlantic Division, the Leafs, Sabres, and Panthers. The Leafs, Sabres, and Panthers made the playoffs. They buy EA access, but they haven't, though. The only way they're going to get the Ultimate Team incentives is if they order the game themselves. But like I said, if you have the whole console sharing deal going on, they would technically have access to the game. Yeah, they wouldn't get the incentives. How do I feel about the center core of the Bruins? Great! Love Pavel Zacha as a #1 center. Love it. See, the Metro, you got the Rangers, Jackets, Penguins, Hurricanes, and Devils. I mean, to be honest, yeah, I mean, outside of the Blue Jackets being that good, though, you know, is it true you can't turn off the pressure meter? Correct. That is just a part of the game now. A good part of the game, in my opinion, but it is a part of the game now. Pavel Zacha's underrated. I mean, he is because people viewed him as a third-line scrub, and he's not that, but #1 center replacing Patrice Bergeron? Yeah. Let's see, Colorado, Dallas, Minnesota, Chicago made the playoffs in Season 1. Fair enough. The Connor Bedard effect. The Connor Bedard effect. Can you edit strategies and edit line? It's still locked like last year behind your coach. They want to make it so that you have incentive to find the coach that gels with your team or the players that gel with your coach. So, if you were the GM of the Bruins, who would the 1 CB instead of Pavel Zacha? Mark Scheifele. Or I would have offer sheeted Trevor Zegras. This is my playlist, Disco. I can't technically, well, I could, but it would require different settings to not have the game soundtrack get me copyright strike. Vancouver won the Pacific Division, by the way. So, you still have Marchand on your team. I do. I didn't sell anybody immediately. Toronto Maple Leafs and the Vancouver Canucks, the top 2 teams in hockey. Okay. All right. No one ever accused EA of Canadian bias. Nobody ever. Asheville, the worst team in the league. All right. Let's see. So for the Bruins, I mean, Pasta was good. Marchand was good despite the injuries. DeBrusk, Zacha. I mean, honestly, some of the scoring might be unrealistic. I mean, JVR scored 20, which is kind of nuts. How is the pressure meter good for the game? I mean, it completely changes, or at least strives to completely change what the offensive meta is and has been in NHL games for years and years and years and years. So just that alone, the idea is that it gives you a different strategy. Mac, I hate to be this guy, but Google's your friend on that one. As we take a look at the forwards, Mika Zibanejad leads the NHL on 112 points. Nick Suzuki up there as well. You got McKinnon. Caulfield's up there. Crosby also over 100 points. And you could argue, let's see, Bedard, 95 points, 44 goals, up to an 89 overall for Connor Bedard. Let's take a look at top goal scorers. Cooch scored 58. Quite a few guys had at least 40, including Evgeny Malkin, Nazem Kadri, Kevin Fiala. Draisaitl was a point per game. You know, Draisaitl hasn't been at a 1.0 point per game or under since 2018. But it's cool. How'd you get Shell 24? Have an association with the A, so I got the game a little bit early. Oh, goodness. All right. And because we wanted to know, Connor McDavid finished with 85 points. 1 point fewer than Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. To Twitter. To Twitter to share the update. Goodness. That is my goodness. Why isn't McDavid ever 99s? To be honest, I don't know. As it is, like, they have him at a 97 by default. Attribute effects are at 10 out of 10. Which you could argue, like, oh, well, that's why. It should make McDavid better. It should make him better. Could it be as simple as morale? Potentially, yeah. At the same time, 98 overall, 85 points. Yeah. Yeah. It could very well be the coaching or the coach fit, anything like that. Regardless, it's just not a good look. He beat Huberdeau's point drop by 8 points. Yeah, regardless of coach fit, Connor McDavid probably should not suffer the largest drop-off in points year on year in NHL history. Yeah, probably not. Erik Karlsson had over 100 points as a defenseman. Quinn Hughes on 76. The goal-scoring king amongst defenders was Cale Makar, the cover boy, with 22. As we take a look at goalies, scoring is set to medium. Shots are on the default setting of high. Let's see, in terms of save percentages, I mean, amongst starters, the best was a 918. The best was a 918 amongst starters. Obviously, Quick and Fleury are up there. Martin Jones is very high up there, but they didn't even play half the season's worth of games. So, doesn't look good. Doesn't look good. Aftershock, I have no idea. I actually haven't heard about that since, which is a pretty bad look, honestly. The new X Factor on Fleury is Energizer. There are 3 new Goalie X Factors this year. One is Energizer. Another has to do with the user goalie anticipation. And then the other has to do with, I believe, just getting a different energy boost as well in terms of saves or something like that. Now, obviously, from a real-life perspective, and shout out to Board Jason for the follow. They did announce that there were Goalie X Factors, yeah. At least I'm pretty sure they did. Brave, the injuries are about the same, from my experience. Now, obviously, if we go to goalie stats from last season, IRL, and you look at starters, it was Allmark and Philip Gustafson that were over 930s. Sorokin was at a 924. Hellebuck in a 920. I will agree that for the most part, the save percentages are relatively accurate. But as was mentioned in chat, scoring is not. So they aim to have the tuning be quote unquote more accurate, and I don't really see it as that way. You know, it was like, oh yeah, the goalie's numbers are supposed to be good, but the scoring's supposed to be higher. It's not hitting the mark right now. For the rookie race, yeah, I mean, obviously Connor Bedard. Again, Logan Cooley is not in the game at launch. I added him in for my rosters, which you can find on the Xbox Series consoles. He is not in. Fantilli's not in. They will not be in until the start of the season. So, just a reminder. Somebody mentioned something about Connor McDavid's shots. He had 277. He hasn't taken less shots in a full season in a long time. Oh, God, it's a bad look. That's all I can say, man, is it is a bad look to have Connor McDavid with numbers like that. Got Ice Hockey tickets for October 21st against the Wolves. Ooh. I'd love to get back to an AHL game, but they took my damn team away. So, why can't I play it? It's noon in Montreal. The other noon. So, yeah, the Blue Jackets, again, I added in Fantilli. He's not in the game at launch, but he did do very well in the AHL. Probably won AHL Rookie of the Year. Yeah, Ridley Gregg did pretty well there. Our AHL team's Providence Bruins. Who else would it be? Let's take a look. Now we've taken a look at stats. I didn't make the playoffs, so we'll be able to get to a draft pretty soon. It is only one simulated year, but it's not a great look. Well, no changes at the NHL level. NHL level sees John Beecher get better. All right, I mean, there was some development here and there. That's not too bad. I'm going to wait until the end of the season to see if there were any X Factor improvements, because especially if it doesn't happen immediately, you would think that Connor Bedard would get the improvement after winning the Calder. So let's see how the postseason plays out in season 1. Does Carolina have an AHL affiliate in the game? I think they are still with. I can double check that really quickly. So I can double check who they have. They do have an AHL affiliate. They share with somebody. I just don't remember who.
I'm just trying to walk through this fucking grass.
Double check that. I could think of several ways to say that name. Thank you for the follow. Welcome in. They had a regression attribute. They did. Carolina is with Chicago. Yeah. Can't believe they said the Henrik. Yeah, the fact that they're like, well, the menus are now in dark mode in franchise. That was just asking to get dunked on. Just get put on a poster. That's all you were asking for with a statement like that. Let's be honest. So, it's pretty bad. But yeah, let's get through this. We'll see how the playoffs go. See who wins the Stanley Cup in season 1 and take it from there. You can look around the league at potential X Factor, development, regression, and see what's up. I mean, realistically, Connor McDavid should regress in terms of an X Factor as the Florida Panthers. You heard it here first. The Florida Panthers are going to win the Stanley Cup in 2024 after being so close this past year. Team customization is very, very similar. There were no new logos or anything like that. They have changed the menu to kind of mimic what the Create Player one looks like, but that's about it. So, the Florida Panthers, Stanley Cup champions, as they beat Buffalo, New Jersey, Pittsburgh, and the Seattle Kraken. The Vancouver Canucks made it to the conference finals. Did they take logos out? Not that I noticed, but I wasn't looking to see if they removed them. I was only looking to see if they added them. So, Be a Pro is essentially the same. Yeah, unfortunately. Let's see. So the Panthers Stanley Cup winners. Your Art Ross winner is Mika Zibanejad, as well as your Hart winner. All right. Can you set up what the cap is at? If you go through Custom League, yes, you can. Tactics, by the way. Good to see you, friendo. Have you seen what I've posted on Twitter or in Discord in the last half an hour? Eric Carlson wins the Norris. Lady Bing as well. The Calder does go to Connor Bedard. Conn Smythe went to Sam Reinhart. Samsonov wins the Vezina. Interesting. Hakanpaa the Masterton. Jack Adams again. Still no coaching license. And for anybody who doesn't know, you will likely not see the real NHL coaches in the game anytime soon unless something changes with the Coaches Association. As it has been explained to me, when it comes to coaches, the second they are fired, they are out of the Coaches Association, meaning EA would lose the rights to them immediately. Which is typically why they don't want to have to go through with, oh, we're working on stuff. Oh, shit, this guy got fired. Get him out of the game as fast as possible. It's not likely to happen, is how it's been explained to me. I hope it happens, but it's not likely to happen. And you would think it would be, well, hey, just have the dude that got fired be immediately replaced. But again, I do sympathize with them from a legal standpoint. There are a lot of damn hoops they do have to jump through. It doesn't excuse everything about this game. Don't get me wrong. But in terms of something like that, there's some freaking hoops they have to jump through. So. Oh, yeah, tactics. That trade's brutal, by the way. It's brutal. Ryan O'Reilly wins the Selkie now that Patrice Bergeron's retired. Hate it here. Zibanejad won the Ted Lindsay. Rocket Richard goes to Kucherov. Always wonder why alumni guys that are coaches can't be coaches. Just, I would imagine different licensing. I would imagine. Like I said, whenever it's something like that, it always does seem to come down to there's just weirdness like that. Ridley Gregg won the AHL's scoring race. He also won league MVP. Can he change his strategies? No. It is still very much tied to coaches. Gregg also scored the most goals. It's Chaz Lucius, right? Not Cruz. It's Chaz Lucius. Was the top rookie, which is shocking. Declan Chisholm was the top defenseman. I didn't see any of tonight's Monday Night Football game. Dude, after watching the Patriots this weekend, you would have had to pay me to watch the New York Giants play football. Matt Murray, not that one. Did well. Atu Aratu won the Butterfield Trophy, MVP, in the Calder Cup playoffs. So, with that, I think that's season one. Pretty much done and dusted. We didn't do too much with the team, and the team also didn't do well. Let me see. First and foremost, I'm not going to be able to check other teams, at least from here. Got a few contracts. I should be able to check Bedard. Did Connor Bedard develop more abilities? He did. He started off with 3. So there is your proof. He did develop 2 more silvers, and they both fit what Connor Bedard should have. So after a 90-plus point season, winning the Calder, he did end up developing more abilities, which is good. Didn't get the gold yet, but I'd imagine by the beginning of the season or even by the end of next season, he'll end up having that deal. He is up to a freaking 92, which is insane. In terms of anybody that would have lost abilities, I'm trying to think of who the oldest options are. McDavid kept all of it. Who are older options that might have regressed? Let me go to the player search. I think I still have it in the offseason. I do. Kopitar, Wheeler, Pavelski, good shouts. Sid, other good shouts. What I'm going to do actually is just go like age 33 and up. Hedman. Hedman still has a full house. So does Carlson, Yossi. Crosby still got the full house. John Carlson. I don't think Spurgeon had a gold to lose. Marchand still has the full house. Blake, thank you for the 23 months on the primer. Appreciate you. How are you? I don't think Doughty had a gold. If he did, he lost it. He might be the first one. For the most part, I'm not really seeing anybody. I don't believe Tavares had a gold. Ben definitely didn't have a gold, nor did Letang. I'm not seeing too many guys here that would have lost abilities. They did fix the scroll glitch, though. Yeah, thank God. I don't believe Kopitar had a gold either. So, not seeing too many examples of regression. On the flip side of this, we can go for the younger players in the league and see if anybody developed. Jack Hughes. I don't remember if Jack Hughes had a full house. I don't think he did, but he does now. Cole Caulfield definitely didn't have gold 1T, did he? I'm 99% sure Caulfield didn't have gold 1T. Maybe I'm wrong. I need to bring up the database to double check these things, but I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure. I did already drop a custom roster. I wasn't... Caulfield had silver? Okay. I wasn't able to do as much as I wanted to do. I have a video out on the channel talking about this custom roster. It's on the main YouTube channel. Link's right there. I explain why. It's because the creation suite is borked at the moment. So I added in a couple of players until I discovered that things were broken. And at that point, I kind of said, all right, well, we'll make more later. So... he got gold 1T and added puck on a string. Thank you for looking that up. I'm still trying to freaking load up the right part of EA's rating site. So yeah, Cole Caulfield did get better, which is good. Trevor Zegras might have developed a little bit as well. If we take a look at the men's highlighted added silvers for Zegras. Tactics, thank you for being here to be able to bounce you off these ratings with you, which is nice. Obviously, again, I added in Logan Cooley. He didn't develop anything. He's not in the game yet. Stutzla, I think, developed magnetic. So, Owen Power is there. Creation Suite update. The Creation Suite has been updated itself. There are no new logos. I didn't double check arenas, but I'm pretty sure there's no new arenas either. I also added in Cutter Gauthier. He's not in the game yet. So, you know. William Eklund didn't develop anything. I think Sider got a couple of extra abilities there. So there were definitely some guys who developed abilities. But yeah, Connor Bedard did not end up with a gold. Glitch in the creation suite. You can't properly add in defenders, and it takes forever to scroll contracts. The best way is to describe it. All right, draft lottery. Detroit has our pick at 15. The Philadelphia Flyers. The Philadelphia Flyers have won the draft lottery. So that's fun. We didn't have our first round pick anyway, so we will get through our first draft. This Bruins team is in rough shape. And for year one retirements, I mean, Leo Komarov. No, not Leo Komarov. What are we going to do without Uncle Leo?
I'm just trying to
send Roth's gone too. Shout out to Big Lou. 69, no less. For the fall. Welcome in. Oh, goodness. Derek Ryan Belmar became scouts. That's fine. So, shout out to Coach Carson, by the way. 2 years. 2 years on the primer. Why was Dubinsky still in the free agent list? Because they don't care.